Hello, welcome to CashCalc TV. My name is Ray Adams. Now, as you know, I'm a chartered financial planner and I'm actually a bit of a pensions geek. I'm G60 qualified, J04, J05 and I'm AF3 qualified. Real geek. 2 weeks ago, I took R08 pension freedoms just to keep me up to date with all of these recent changes for pension flexibility. Really interesting section in there about attitude to risk, capacity for loss and cash flow modelling and stress testing the portfolio. Now this is the latest syllabus from the CII and there's a whole section about cash flow modelling. Now interestingly, the bit about stress testing the portfolio works perfectly with what we've been working on with CashCalc over the last few weeks, which is to, instead of just giving you linear returns, so a nice steady 2% a year return or 3% a year, we're looking to try and replicate market volatility, where a portfolio has a really good start and then maybe a poor later on in the portfolio. Now, as you know, if they're taking drawdown, then we come into the realms of pound cost ravaging, and it makes a massive difference. So what we've done is replicate what's in here, and we've now launched the variable growth option and a stress testing of the system, so you can do market simulation. And the example we're going to do today is the exact example in this book. So let's have a look at it now. So let's go and work on our client called example client, and let's create a new forecast, and let's call it stress test 7% average linear returns. Let's make this really simple. We're going to do a 10-year portfolio to replicate what's in the R08 book. So let's set inflation at 0. We'll leave the current account at nothing, and let's put an ISO portfolio in there, 100,000. So you can see there's a new button option here now, which is linear or variable. So let's just have a quick look at variable, and what you can see there is some historic funds and benchmarks to model, and we've got the cautious, balanced and adventurous. You will have the ability to model your own and save them as defaults in the future, but that's coming in a few months. So let's select linear, 7% return, and let's add that. Onto incomes and expenditures, let's add an expense. Let's call it an annual holiday from 54 to 64, £7,000 per year. Let's go straight down to stress testing now, which is a new page, and already you can see the portfolio starting off at 100,000 and then going up by age 99 to 995,000. But I just want to show this over 10 years, so let's go and click on this button here saying adjust assumptions. And I'm going to slide this down to end at age 64. So we're just doing a 10-year event. There you go, nice and easy for you to understand. So let's mouse above age 54, £100,000 portfolio. It's going to grow at 7%, but of course we know there's 7,000 coming out. You can see in year 2 it's worth 99,510. Why is that? Okay, that's the assumptions we use. In the CII R08 book, they assume that the 7% growth is added first, so 100,000 grows to 107, and then the 7% withdrawal happens second, so it actually brings it back down to 100,000. We do the assumption slightly different in CashCalc, and in fact we say the withdrawal happens first, so 100 grand goes down to 93, then the 7% gets added, which takes it back up to 99,510. Now, with any assumptions, they will have slightly different outputs if they're used differently. And I made a conscious decision when we were building this system to err on the side of caution and so show the clients a slightly worst case scenario. So we say the withdrawal happens first, the growth happens second. So in our case, slightly different now to the R08 book. You'll see over the 10 years, the portfolio drops to 93,230. That's 7% growth and 7,000 a year taken out. So what we want to do is replicate what this portfolio would have done if it had 7% average returns but a good start and then a poor latter part of the portfolio, and contrast that to a poor start, so then we're into pound cost ravaging. So let's go and clone this forecast and create an identical one, and let's call it stress test -7% average but poor start. So let's do that. So we've got an identical portfolio now. Let's go down to stress testing. Let's go down to this red button now, which is simulate a market event. Let's click on that. What you can see up on the left hand side is that we've got some preset simulations, which is the market crash 2007, 8, 9, and contrast that with the dot-com bubble just before the millennium. Or you can actually just pick any time you want in the FTSE from 1984 to today. But we've also added a poor start and a good start. So let's select the 7% average returns poor start, and let's run that simulation. And as you can see there, this is a poor start, but it looks like the returns are going up. But of course, if you just mouse above age 54, you can see the first year is a minus 11% return. The next year you've got a minus 3% return. So both those years are actually sub-zero and negative. Okay. Then in the latter years, you're then positive returns. So let's apply those changes. What's that done now? So £100,000 portfolio has now dropped to 82,000. So now we're definitely into pound cost ravaging. And in fact, the portfolio never recovers, even though you've got some positive returns. Those positive returns are on a significantly depleted fund. And at age 64, this portfolio is down to 65,180. That is a perfect example of pound cost ravaging. Okay. So let's have a look at average of 7%, but with a good start. So let's go back up. Let's clone another forecast. Let's copy it identically from the linear returns. There you go. So we've got another one now. Let's go straight down to stress testing. Let's go straight to market event. In our drop down box, we're going to say let's have a good start, and let's run that simulation. What we got now, £100,000 portfolio first year goes up by 21%, but 7,000's come out, but we've still ended the year at 112,530. We've had a good start, followed by more good starts, and latter parts of the portfolio is then poor. But what we've done now, we've ended up with 113,000. So you have three identical 7% returns ranging from 65,000 up to 113,000. And that is a perfect example of stress testing your portfolio as per the R08 book. This actually is a lovely addition to really show your client the market volatility and pound cost ravaging. So just have a go of it yourself, guys, and as always, give us some feedback. If there's any improvements we can make, just let us know. Good luck with business. Thanks, guys.